Hey, this is David Wynn with the Mortgage Edge podcast brought to you by Click and Close Mortgage. Today, I got a very special guest all the way from Arkansas, Rebecca Webb. Rebecca, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, thanks for, as you know, we bring on the top realtors from across the country, and it's as we sit here on January the 3rd on a Friday. We're coming to you from Arkansas. What's the market like in Arkansas? Talk to us about that. First of all, tell us where in Arkansas you're at and what's the market like right now.
I live in Fayetteville, but I work all of Northwest Arkansas. Most of my sales are closer up towards Bentonville and Centerton. The market is pretty busy right now, so we haven't really had a slow time. We've got a lot of people moving into this area. We have Walmart headquarters, other things that draw quite a few people here. So it's a busy time.
That's awesome. Well, let's.
Mhm.
I've seen your numbers. We don't really need to talk about it. You're killing it, lady. But let's talk about you in the real estate business. You're a kind of a unique person that I think you got your real estate license in 2019, but didn't really start practicing till 2021 or something like that. Is that right? 2 years later.
Yes, I passed my real estate exam in December 2019. And then 2020, COVID hit about 3 months later. So I really didn't do anything with it for a while. The world was shut down. And I was working as a teacher, so it's kind of going to be a part-time job. And then it was actually one of my students, my former students, that called and wanted me to list her house, and that was how I got started.
That's awesome. Well, let's talk about that. How long, the best realtors out there seem to come from the teaching industry, probably because you're an educator. How long were you a school teacher?
I was a teacher for 25 years. So I did elementary, high school. I went back and got my library degree. So I did library, did a lot of technology, and kind of covered all aspects of it.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Mhm.
So what made you get into real estate from school teaching?
Well, the education system has changed quite a bit over the years, and it's not a really teacher friendly environment anymore. I love the kids, but the system it hasn't progressed over the years. And so it kind of just, things got to a situation where it's just, I have my ethics and what I believe in, and the school district and I weren't aligning. And I kind of had to make a choice at some point. Did I support a district or did I support my students? And I supported my students, and so that didn't go over very well. And I actually got put on leave for a while, and I actually ended up getting fired 48 days before retirement. So
So you never retired?
I actually did end up retiring because they didn't have any basis for firing me other than I was drawing attention to some of the issues that were going on that were affecting a lot of our lower income students. So it was a COVID situation where the students were totally dependent on technology and they weren't getting what they needed. And so we were kind of in a battle over that. And I got laid off at the end of 2022. And then so that was a big hit because I had, been on a salary my whole life. And um I really didn't think I was going to get fired, but So January 19th, 2023, I'd also been talking to a kid of mine that I loved very dearly that was best friends with my daughter, and she was in foster care. And a couple months before I got fired, she had asked me to take her in. And so I said, okay.
Was
And
she one of your
then
students or?
she lived on my street, and her and my daughter became best friends. And then I later found out that she was in foster care. But she was at my house all the time, and I was so attached to her, and I just loved her so much. And then she actually got pulled from DHS and moved to another city. And it just absolutely broke my heart. And so then a year or two later, she calls me and says, I need you to help me. Can you can you take me? And I said, okay, I will. And then all this happened with the school. And so crazy enough, January 19th, 2023, I believe, I got custody of my foster daughter that morning, and I got fired that night, and I had to start a new career.
Well,
And
hang on a second. Let's talk a little bit more about this. And I'm sorry for getting personal, but you told me I was allowed to. Wasn't 2019 the year you got divorced also, or what year did you?
I got divorced in 2019. I did.
So that's a big life altering thing. So you have major life altering things happen: divorce, leaving a job, taking care. Man, your world had to be spinning. How do you go through all that as we're reliving this now? Because I'm like, oh my god, what a whirlwind! You're going through all that, and then you still had the ability to say, I am going to take care of you, young lady. I will take you in. You're I don't know if you believe in God, but I do. But you're
Oh, I
definitely
do. I
you're definitely
do.
you're definitely an angel from God because not many people would step up in that situation. Because I can't believe your financial situation was in good shape or you were even prepared to take someone like that. But God had it in your heart to do that, and I commend you for that, lady. That's awesome.
Thank you. It's just, I do believe in God, and I just believe that, you have to live with good character, and when you do what's right and you walk in the way that's right, I think that things will work out in your favor. And the truth is I was very miserable at my job, and I had been praying. I wanted a way out. I just didn't know how to get out. Like, how do you get out of a career where you've
Right.
worked your way up to the top, and everything that I had looked into and wanted to do, I would have to start at the bottom. Well, I've got three kids I've got to support. How am I going to start at the bottom wage? But, when it comes down to it, like, I have to do what I think is right and then just trust that it's going to work out. And that's what I did.
So so let's talk about that. I mean, from 2019 to 2022, how big your life had to be a struggle.
Uh, yeah, it was, I sold everything I had to buy. I sold all the jewelry I had, except my mother's, who had passed away from cancer. I sold all the jewelry I had to get the down payment for my house. And that's how I bought my house. That's how I got into my house. On $4,000 a month, there's not a lot of room to save money, especially when you're raising kids. And so that year, the day that I got fired and I got custody of her, was probably the hardest year of my entire life. And, sometimes like those worst experiences are the ones, they're the best in the long run. They're hard, but I learned so many lessons along the way. And those are things I wouldn't trade. But it was hard. But also, like, I remembered having to go through that struggle. is something that I'll never forget. So when I work with these families that are struggling wanting to get in the home and they're struggling with this or whatever, I mean, like I feel that and I want better for them. And we all need somebody at different times in our lives to take us by the hand. And so I'd actually looked for a new company and I found it when I was on leave and I found this job at Better Homes and Gardens. And I came down here and interviewed, and believe it or not, I cried through my interview. Because you got to realize, okay, I'd been a teacher for 25 years. This is what I
Right?
knew. And so everything I knew was gone, and and now I have a foster kid, and I am in foster care. I have to go to, you know, DHS classes, and I had never in my life I'd never been on food stamps, so I had to learn how to get on food stamps, and I had to learn how to get my kids on health insurance, free health, and this world was something I didn't even understand. I'd never been there, so it was a lot, and I came to Better Homes and Gardens. I did not make a sale. I think I got here November 1st,
What year?
uh, 2022. The
Okay.
year I got laid, while I was laid off, I came over here and because it said it had health insurance. So I was like, I'm about to lose my health insurance. And it was the only brokerage that I saw that ever offered health insurance. So I came over here and cried through my interview and I kept showing up every day. I wasn't that productive, I'll be honest. Um, but the day I got fired, January 19th, the day I got fired, I woke up the next day and I was like, listen, girl, you got to get up. You've got to get up. It's it's time to start over. And I just did one step at a time. And real estate is a mental game. Like if you go in, like your clients will feel your problems. You can't bear the weight of the world on your shoulders when you go in. So like you've got to be mentally
Prepared.
prepared and ready. And that was hard with all the stuff that I was going through. And so but I'll tell you that when you just trust the path that's been set before you, and that's what I learned during my struggles. It's like I just have to trust. Like I can't do it on my own. And so I got led to this brokerage and they embraced me and just encouraged me and supported me. And um, turns out the owner of my brokerage had one time been on food stamps and had to work her way up. And here she owns this brokerage now and employs so many people. So she just has a heart. And so she did so many things to support me, and she does it for everybody, but she even has life coaches for us if we need that. And um they saw something in me that at the time I couldn't see in myself, but they invested in me. And there was months that I could not make it financially. I couldn't make it. I finally made my first sale in February, but it wasn't enough to like pay my bills and things like that. And so I had to take several advances through the company, and I mean, it meant a lot to me that they would take that risk on me.
Yeah.
But they saw through my pain and the struggle and my temporary situations, and they saw what I could would do. And I remember one time I came in and I just kind of was feeling discouraged, whatever. And I walked in the door, and my broker, Marion, was standing there at the door, and she looked at me, and I didn't say anything. She didn't know anything going on at that time, and she looked at me and she goes, "I just want you to know, I don't ever want you to leave for money." She's like, "We need you. There's something about you. There's something in you." Like, she's like, "I don't want to lose you." And it was just that faith in me was just, it was so empowering, the support I got here. And slowly I just, I got things resolved and worked my way up. And it was hard, but I learned as I went. And, things have been going up since then.
Well, Rebecca, this is one of the best podcasts for rawness that I've done in my 2 years. I got to thank you very much. One of the things they say don't talk about on these things is politics or religion, but I say no. I talk about it because I believe in our God, that He has faith in and a path for all of us. And it sounds like He had a path for you. He had to just tear you down a little bit to build you back up. Do you have immediate family there in Arkansas? Brothers, sisters, mom, or is it just you?
It's just me. So, I mean, I had to rely.
There was no one to depend on but you,
There
huh?
was nobody to depend on. But honestly, like, I kind of just, looking back, I felt like that was part of the lesson, because I think so many times in life, um, and I did this for many, many years. It's like I want to sit there and make my plan of what I think is going to be the best. This is going to be the best for me. This is how I'm going to make the most money. This is what I need. We look at things and we decide what we need. And when I got down to my breaking point of, I mean, I'm going to tell you that year, it was it was hard. I mean, there was days that I ate one meal a day, just to save money, or ate snacks at work and just like, I didn't have it, and I'd had to burn through my credit to make it, so I was racking up debt, but I was just like, I was just like, I'm gonna make it and I'm gonna pay all this back. This is what I have to do right now to survive. Like, it's stressful to run up a lot of debt, but like that's just what I had to do. And so, I just it was it was a struggle. It was a struggle. I mean,
Let's get to the good part because now the rawness that we just witnessed. I can see why you're the best realtor out there. I can see because you care. You've been through there. We look at I look at you and I see this beautiful woman from Arkansas, and I think, oh, she probably has a silver spoon. Her life has been easy her entire life, and just the rawness of what you just gave us is why your people probably love you so much and why you care so much. When you help that first time home buyer that is a single mom or the first time home buyer that's struggling because they have to sell their house because they can't financially make it, those are all amazing things. But even more amazing, let's talk about the last 2 years. You went from the dumpster to the penthouse in a very short time. Uh,
basically.
I don't want to talk about this, but in 2024, um, what was your volume? How much volume did you do? How many transactions? How
Um,
many volume? Do you have any idea? Round figures?
I did about 13 million.
Yeah, 13 million in less
Mhm.
than 2 years, which
Oh,
was
that
more than.
what 13 million was 2024 or 2023. I did about five and a half.
Yeah,
Um,
and you're
and
going to
I
double, and you're going to
and I
double that this year.
doubled it, yeah.
And there's no doubt in my mind in 2025 you're going to double it. So let's talk about the good stuff. From
Right.
2023 to 2025, you went from having one cell in 20 to a couple of cells, and all of a sudden, what was it? What was the lot? What was it that got turned on in you? Because I can see that smile. What was the event that happened that just put it all together and you became super realtor?
I think it was just, you know, I made my first sale and that was great and I got started, but I think my confidence started to get a little bit better and just my healing over my life and I just started to get excited about it because um I enjoy I enjoy challenges. Like I like to learn, I like to do things, I like to reach limits that I haven't reached before, and as I got started in real estate, I just absolutely started to love it. And I think the things that I started to love about it the most was um there's so many different types of people in it. There's so many different types of people. Um I love all the personalities, the cultures, the just backgrounds that everybody came from. Like I love meeting new people. Um, so it's just I love learning new ways. Like I have this Indian client that I had that I just honestly I'll tell you sometimes I end transactions and I get a little sad if you've ever been like say you binge watch a show, right? And you get to the last season
Season, yeah.
and then you're like, "Oh my gosh, it's over." Like what do I do? Like I love that show. I mean, there's closings I get to and I'm like, "But I'm going to miss you. Like I've seen you so much." And so I get these clients that I just get attached to, and we have good conversations, and we talk about their religions and where they came from, and I love that. And I love working at a brokerage that just embraces people and encourages people, and it just all became so positive. And another thing is in teaching, and I did hear this on one of your other podcasts from another teacher. In teaching, as hard as you work and as much as there's nowhere to go, and in real estate, like you can be what you want to be. If you want to work hard and grind it out, and like you can,
Yeah.
and you can reap all that you put into it. And that's something that I wasn't able to do. So it just became very empowering, and I work for myself and I work at a place that I'm encouraged to be myself. And I mean, it's just, I feel like my life is so full and so free and just, you know, open to wherever I'm gonna go.
Well, you are amazing, lady. As we sit here in, like I said, January 3rd, 2025, first 3 days of the year, I have no doubt you're going to double what you did. Your broker who had faith in you saw something. She obviously knows how to pick them because I could tell you this: most brokers don't give advances. 99.9% of them, they just don't do that. There's more people that fail in real estate than succeed. That's just the God honest truth. But the reality of it is, lady, you are killing it. Let's talk about your lead source. Does your company give you leads, or is it all organic? It's all you out there generating yourself. How do you generate your leads?
Well, my company does, they do give us leads. We do work with Zillow.
Okay.
So we're connected with Zillow. This is a great place to start, especially when you're getting out. Like when I started out a different brokerage. You had to come up with your own leads, your own advertising, your own this, that, and the other. Um, and of course, you're going to end up working with a lot of people that you know. Um, Here we work with Zillow. So I'll get my leads through Zillow when I answer the phone. Um, you're eventually like, you meet more people, you make a little bit less per transaction, but at some point, those people that you work with become your clients.
Right.
So, and you foster those relationships, and if you take good care of people, they come back. And so I I work through Zillow, but then I also build
Sphere of influence. Yep.
my own sphere. So it's kind of works out as two different systems. So it's been really good, and I actually really enjoy it because the area that we live in, we have the Walmart headquarters in
Yeah.
Bentonville. And so with that, Bentonville or Walmart requires a lot of people to transfer in. Well, they don't know people here. A lot of people want to flip through Zillow and things like that. So it's kind of the way the world works, especially if you're moving from one place to another. And so we'll get those transfers in, and but then it's just kind of up to you to make that connection and do those people want to work with you or not.
Is your
So,
company on the reload list for Walmart?
no, we're not. We have to get approval to do that. We'd like to be, but yeah, we're
Yeah.
working towards it. Mhm.
Yeah. So it's just people coming in. They're finding a local realtor
Mhm.
and everything
Mhm.
else. So, okay. Well, as much as I would love to sit here and talk to you all day, I'm gonna have to table this because I know you have people that you need to go show houses to and everything else. What did we not talk about that we should have talked about, Rebecca?
Um, I think I mean, the thing I would say, I think, I think just to be an authentic person, I think when you are, people see that in you, and I think that's kind of the most important thing. My clients are first. Making money is not first for me. Um, I want what's best for people, and I think that's the key to being successful is when you put your clients' needs first, as you should, because that's what we're here to do, and we're here to protect them. And as a single mom, I needed somebody to protect me as a realtor, and she didn't, and I'll never forget that. And so that was something that I will never do to one of my clients. So I just, I care about them. I want the best for them, and so.
Well, with that being said, if I'm looking in the Fayetteville, Bentonville, Arkansas area, there's only one lady I'm going to be using as my real estate agent, and that's Rebecca Webb. So if the people want to find you, and I know they do, how do they get hold of you, Rebecca?
You can call me. My number is 479-409-8134. So one more time, 479-409-8134.
And if you are watching us live, you saw that go across the lower thirds. Rebecca, I know 2025 is going to double your numbers, and I can't wait to follow up with this. I'd like to follow up with you maybe in 6 months in a year and do another one of these and just check in on Rebecca Webb and see how she's doing. Well, how's that sound?
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love having realtor partners out there that are doing great things out there. This was a great podcast. To get to see the real Rebecca Webb, and everybody. I look at you, Rebecca, and like I said, I see movie star. Not trouble in the world, and for you to come on and give us the real Rebecca Webb, the rawness, because that's what we all have. We all have flaws and stuff like that. I can see why people are attracted to you, because you have a natural attraction that people are drawn to you. Probably because you care so much, and that's why you're going to help them get into the largest purchase of their life. So, well, first of all, thank you
Thank
for being
you.
on this show. My name is David Wynn. I'm with the Mortgage Edge podcast. Thanks for being with us today, guys. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.